Bitcoin futures have a couple of breakdowns in the background. I'm expecting there to be support between 20,000 and 16,000. And if that can't hold, price is going to move down to around the 10,000. There's support between 8 and 12,000, and so it's centered around the 10,000. Last week, buying support appeared to come in on an increase in volume. This week, the market's moved higher, but volume is very high, the highest it's been for a long, long time. I expect this was most likely absorption, but this has been a really unusual set of circumstances through here. There's been mixed signals all the way through. It appears to be strong, then it appears weakness has come in, but there's no downside follow through. Strength comes back in, but no upside follow through. It's very unusual. It's going on for a long time. Perhaps it's a good idea to have a look inside those last couple of bars, because it did appear that buying support came in last week, and this week looks like it's absorption, which is bullish overall. We go to a daily chart and we'll look inside those last two bars. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So here was 2 weeks ago. Effectively, price was drifting lower here. You've got a shakeout sort of bar here, and there was an increase in volume, so supply was drawn out on that bar. And then the next bar saw price move lower, testing for supply, and volume dropped, so selling pressure reduced over that bar. Next bar is likely a buy the offer bar. Prices moved up, allowed to drift lower by week's end. Then you've had a shakeout on the next bar, and it's been a positive response to that shakeout. It's eventually closed higher for the week. Then you've had another test for supply, and volume was perhaps a bit higher than expected. You look at this test for supply, that's this bar. That's how much volume is drawn out, and the next time price pushed down in a similar fashion to a similar level, a bit more supply was drawn out. So there was selling still in the market. Anyway, price pushed up in response on higher volume. We'll call that an absorption bar at this point until proven different. A buy the offer bar in response, prices pushed up. Buy the offer allowed to drift lower by week's end. A little test for supply in the bottom of this bar, and a push up suggested that the market was bullish. Price was pushing up after dipping lower, and that drew out quite high volume as well. Next bar was looking like a test for supply. Volume was very high. This is likely an absorption bar, and then a no demand sort of up bar in response. It does look more positive than negative. I'm expecting market will continue sideways in this similar fashion until supply becomes low. While supply continues to be drawn out, the market's unlikely to attempt to push higher. It certainly looks stronger than weaker on the daily chart. We'll just have to wait for a response to confirm that. Go back to the weekly chart. You can see those two very narrow spreads this week, both on above average volumes. I expect this is stronger than weaker at the moment. If all this buying was dumped for any reason, this market's going to plummet lower with a really wide spread. If this market breaks out above the highs of the range, this buying will support the breakout and it will push higher with considerable force. Certainly worth watching, and certainly worth going with which side eventually gets the upper hand.